$300 per junk vehicle at DD Auto and Salvage through this Saturday. Celebrating Earth Week. Always the most money for junk vehicles. Plus, aluminum cans are worth 90 cents per pound. That's the highest rate in years. And vehicle pickup is available. Plus, DD Auto and Salvage invites everyone to a free barbecue lunch Saturday from 11 to 2. Happy Earth Day, Cache Valley, from DD Auto and Salvage on Valley View Highway in Logan. $300 per junk vehicle and 90 cents per pound on aluminum cans.
It's time for the Garden Guide with your host, Mark Anderson from Anderson Seed and Garden.
New research suggests that people are more likely to eat vegetables if they have a tempting name.
What would life be without homegrown tomatoes? Only two things that money can't buy, and that's true love and homegrown tomatoes.
From gardening to landscaping.
Today we are going to try and create garden eyebrows. Kind of like the flowers are sprouting directly from your hair. That makes sense.
Go! Phone lines are open at 753-KVNU or 800-369-KVNU.
Kind of like eating vegetables.
It's the Garden Guide, now on KVNU 610 AM and 102 FM.
And good morning. Welcome to the show on a gorgeous, a little cold, but still gorgeous Saturday morning. Will Feel Right along with Mark Anderson of Anderson Seed and Garden. And Mark's sitting right now, 28 degrees this morning, so definitely a little nip in the air.
It's going to warm up.
But yes.
It's going to warm up.
And eventually we will be complaining, saying, remember those days when temperatures were in the 20s? We miss those.
Yeah, like in March.
Yeah.
It's only 75.
So a lot to talk about this morning as we start focusing on all things lawn and garden. I know dandelions are just going crazy right now with all of the rain we've had. And
we did get quite a bit of rain again this week.
We have gotten quite a bit of rain, about a half inch of rain this week. We've got more coming. In fact, starting tomorrow and then continuing right about through Tuesday and into Wednesday.
Yeah. And for every half inch of rain with the temperatures that we've got right now means you don't have to water for a week.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
And sometimes a little bit longer. So we've been getting these nice storms all month long that have just kept everything green. If you look and look at the mountains, they're just greening up they're just greening up like crazy. So
in fact, I don't know, we're just walking around our neighborhood. I haven't seen anybody start to turn on their sprinkler systems
that's
yet.
Good. That's good. Yeah.
So word must be getting around. So definitely we're, of course, looking at all ways of conserving water, although we're doing a lot better here in the north than they are in the south. But still, everybody, we can conserve even if we have a little extra.
And looks like we got another storm tomorrow, too. Yeah, another storm tomorrow, maybe even a little bit tonight.
Be good.
Yeah,
we love the moisture. So, but that moisture does definitely impact your garden and especially the weeds in your lawn. So we'll talk about that this morning. But first, we want to talk about what's going on today at Anderson Seed and Garden.
The amount of weeds in my garden right now
I know
are crazy. So
yeah.
I still haven't been able to get my tiller fixed yet. So that's high on the priority list for this week. So we'll get it going. But at Anderson's, we've got one of our best events of the year going on today. It is our Spring Fling planting event. And if you don't know about the planting event, it's where you bring in a couple pots that you would like to get planted up, and then you pick out the flowers that you want. We will fill it with soil, and the soil is free. And then we will plant the plants up for you in the pots, and the labor is free. You buy the flowers, you buy the fertilizer, you buy a little bit of bark to put down the bottom of the pot so it has good drainage, and we'll take care of the rest. And we still have some spaces available in our reservation system, which is on our website at AndersonSeedandGarden.com. And you can also call in, and we'll get you registered. We'll tell you what times are available as well, too. But you could participate. And the nice thing about getting a reservation is you don't have to worry about standing in line. You just, like, say your appointment's at 10:30, you would show up at 10 o'clock, which would give you plenty of time to pick out your flowers and kind of figure out figure out what you wanted to have planted. And then at 10:30, you go to your station, and we've got 6 stations set up, and they'll be there ready and waiting for you, and they can just like pot it up for you, and head to the register, check out, and away you go. So we've got this down to a science, and for those that reserve a spot, it makes things really slick and easy. Yeah, makes it really nice. And I've got extra helpers in the greenhouse that can help you figure out which flowers would look really nice together. And then we've got people lined up to do the planting, and then we've got people ready to check you out on the way. So we just have this little process that works really, really smooth and easy when people register in advance. And we do have quite a few spaces available. We opened up a whole another station, so we've got some extra spaces available. Okay. Yeah. So we're starting to fill up. So we opened up another station, got an extra volunteer to come and
nice.
Come and help.
Always helpful. All right.
A lot of our volunteers are former employees, which works out great. And some of our sales reps from some of the products that we purchase from, and so we've got sales reps there. We've got former employees. We've got our employees. We've got a few neighbors that like to come and play with us as well too. So
the spring fling planting event starts this morning, continues through the afternoon.
Yeah. I think we start at 11 o'clock. Okay. And there's places you can still sign up for reservations. So do that on our website, AndersonSeedandGarden.com, or you can call in, or you can stop in the store and just scan the QR code, and it'll show you what times are available as well too. So, and if it's not crazy busy, we may be able to take a few walk-ins as well too. But the greenhouses are loaded, so they're full of flowers, all kinds of different flowers to plant. And of course, it's still a little bit early. We're still in April, so they're not flush full with flowers, but you can see the flowers on them and see what it's going to look like when we get them planted. So. Great time to take advantage of a little free labor and a little bit of free soil. Yeah. So we've had some donations of soil from our friends at IFA. So they gave us a little bit of soil, and our friends at BFG Greenhouse Supply, they gave us a pallet of soil from Fertilome, and so we've got some free soil that we can help our customers get their plants planted.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, with temperatures with the way they are, I mean, we were down to 24 this morning, and we're going to be down into the low 30s for the next several days.
Yeah.
With the spring fling planting event, it's probably a good idea to still keep those plants
keep those in the garage
inside or in a breezeway or something like that.
On the patio where it's a little covered. We want to protect those, and if you don't have that spot, then just bring them inside. Put them by the back door overnight. But it looks like our temperatures are going to start kind of mellowing out a little bit, but we could still easily get frost multiple times in May. So just be aware that our usual average last frost, May 20th. Yeah, May 20th. So we've
still about 3 weeks away.
Well, yeah.
and who knows? I mean, we could see frost in June and July,
which we've seen before as well too. So we don't want to wish that on everyone, but it is always a possibility that we get a little bit of frost in June. And there's been months where we haven't had frost in May. And I can only think of one of them where it didn't freeze after like the 30th of April, but the other ones it froze in June. Yeah. So just be prepared for at least another 3 weeks of frost.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you'll be right on average. Yeah, and of course this year has not been average; it's been anything but average.
True,
but average is the middle of two extremes.
Yeah,
and we just tend to deal with extremes.
Well, one thing we did is we got a beautiful pot of just wave petunias that a neighbor had given my wife 2 weeks ago, and I looked at those and I thought, there's no way they're going to survive. Put them up right up against our house.
Oh yeah,
underneath our patio.
Yeah.
And they have just taken off.
The petunias have a little bit of resiliency built in, and so they can handle some cold temperatures. And if they've got a little bit of protection, they're in really pretty good shape. Yeah, they're in pretty good shape.
Meanwhile, your pansies are like Eskimos.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll live through everything.
Oh, they just handle it. So all the ones out on Center Street, they're just flourishing and looking great out there. So we're super excited for the pansies this year, because that by the end of May, they will have entirely filled some of those flower beds and those planters. They're just really taking off like crazy. And then this week we had multiple shipments of things came in. So we got some new asparagus, we got some new raspberries, we got some new strawberries, we got a whole bunch. I think we got 400 shade trees in yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Some big ones to go with our 5-gallon ones. So now we have some larger ones if you want to get a bigger tree to get established, and lots of different varieties. So lots of good looking trees. Of course, they're all sitting out in the parking lot since we haven't been able to
bring them in yet.
Haven't been able to organize them since yesterday. So they just arrived like yesterday afternoon around noon. Okay. So it might be a little chaotic trying to find exactly what you're looking for till we get them organized, but we'll be working on that today as well as the planting event. So a lot of gorgeous trees that have arrived, and then like I said, tons of perennials came in this week, and lots and lots of gorgeous annual flowers for the planting event.
Okay,
yeah.
Plus, over the next couple of weeks, you've got a lot more plants coming in.
Oh, every week. Yeah, every week there's like new things that show up. So if you're looking for a specific kind of pepper or a special kind of tomato, twice or 3 times a week we have trucks coming to restock. So we'll have different things showing up at different times. So it's really best if you're looking for something special to just stop in occasionally just to see what's different, because it's going to be different from this coming week to the next week, to the next week. There'll be something different in the greenhouse.
All right.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, we can take your calls for the Garden Show here on KVNU. 753 KVNU is the phone number, or 753-5868. I know one of the questions you're getting a lot right now is, how do I tackle the weeds in my lawn and in my garden? Yeah. Plus, also, we can talk about, my wife was asking me, because we were a little slow this year getting to our roses, and she said, is it too late to trim them back? And I said, no, let's do it. This week, that was our number one goal, is to get the roses ready to go.
Oh, that's good.
And so there's still a lot you can do around the garden. And one thing I did notice, though, and I think we probably lost them for this year, bleeding hearts. They came on really early this year.
Yep.
And then we had that storm came in and
frozen.
Wiped them out.
They got frozen. So hopefully you got to enjoy them for a couple days.
Yeah, we pulled all of ours, cut them all down again, and I said, I don't think we're going to see them coming back.
No, we'll see. There's a possibility they could bloom again, but we've had a lot of trees that, like the brand new leaves that were just starting to come out, they got frozen as well too. So on some Japanese maples, I saw frozen leaves at my parents' home, and our large Idaho walnut. So that Carpathian walnut, the leaves got frozen on it. So there's a lot of trees that just had, new little tender leaves that were just coming out, and they got nipped this last week when we had those low 20s. And those trees will be fine. They'll put all brand new leaves out, so you don't have to worry about them dying back or anything. It's not unusual for this to happen. I mean, it doesn't happen very often, but those trees have backup systems, and they're prepared to put new leaves out. Despite all those new little leaves getting frozen, they'll put new ones out.
Yeah, in fact, just talking with Marilyn, and she's joining us on the line from over in Wellsville. Marilyn, you mentioned you have a Japanese maple that new leaves are really starting to struggle. Is that right?
Oh, they're just hanging.
Yeah.
They're not dead. They're just hanging, and they're stuck together. And the tree has been here 20 years.
Yeah.
And so it survived a lot. But it just made me so sad to see that it's it came out early, and it so now what?
Definitely got nipped. And I've got a Japanese maple that sounds like it looks exactly like yours. So mine's a Bloodgood red leaf Japanese maple, and leaves just got really beat up. And my ginkgo tree too. So my ginkgo lost all of its leaves. Yep, just froze every single one of them because they were just barely coming out. They were tender, and those ginkgos are really resilient. So it'll put all brand new leaves out, and so will your Japanese maple. So. Even
so
those leaves that have been damaged, they will not come back, but you'll get brand new ones that do come out, and so don't worry about that. However, it is a good time to give it a little bit of a boost, since they're going to use some extra strength to try and put that new set of leaves out. And so all my trees and shrubs that have been damaged, we're watering them with a little bit of Boomerang. And the Boomerang is a liquid fertilizer. You can just mix it up in water and then just pour it on the ground right where you think the root system is of those plants. And what it will do is it will give them just a little bit of nutrient, but it will encourage a lot of new root system. And as that new root system starts to grow, it'll be able to pick up more water and more nutrient, and it will feed the tree and help the tree pick up the other nutrient that's in the soil already, so that it can recover and not be overtaxed trying to put an extra new set of leaves out. So now's actually a really good time to fertilize. But the boomerang's great to start out with because it's made for trees and shrubs and plants of all kinds, even vegetables that have been damaged or are struggling. And that's why it's called boomerang, because it's a comeback formula. So it really helps your plants recover with stress and damage. And so that would be a great place to start for some of those trees that you've seen a little damage on.
Yeah, that work for roses. I did something terrible, but beautiful rose but it came from a little gift, and it was a tiny little potted one, and I just planted it kind of next to our sidewalk because I thought, well, here I can watch it die. If I put it somewhere out in the rest of this yard, it'll get lost and it'll just go away and I won't even know.
Right.
Well, it has thrived, and it grows to be 4 or 5 feet tall, and I didn't prune it when I should have, and it was just covered with leaves, but we were getting all this crazy weather and stuff going on, and I thought, I've got to prune it back. I should have done this in February when I could have, because it was summer.
Mm-hmm.
And so I trimmed it, really trimmed it severely, and the stalks are about a foot tall. There are 5 of them, and they're green. They have a good color, but the very tips of them are black.
Yeah,
and it's just staying there. And I put some nice soil around it, and at night I put some plastic in a box over it because it still gets kind of cold up here on the mountain.
Protect it a little bit, yeah. The boomerang would be great for that rose, and it does not sound that you have done anything to damage it. In fact, I usually tell people don't prune that early in February because it'll put out a lot of new growth, and that new growth will get damaged. So a little bit of black on the tips, that's just fine. As it starts to leaf out, just go back in and prune, and you can take a little bit of that damage off. But you'll get all new leaves, and it should be amazing this year. It's going to have lots of strength. It'll just lots of flowers. Yeah, lots of flowers.
I'm so glad. I walked past that and said, I'm so sorry.
No.
I don't know. Was I just so impulsive? I don't know what's the matter with me.
And roses only bloom on new growth. And so taking all that old growth off is what you have to do to encourage new flowering, because it won't flower on that old growth. And so you have to get rid of that old growth so it creates a lot of new growth. And on that new growth, that's where all your flowers are going to be. So great time to fertilize right now. So hit it with the boomerang, and then in about a week or 2, hit it with a nice rose food with systemic, and then do it once a month all summer, and your rose should go crazy for you.
Take off.
Yeah.
Oh,
and that Japanese maple should start to come right back.
Yeah. Yeah, it will.
Oh, good.
Well, thank you.
We're getting all this rain. It's fabulous.
That is.
Just really, it's wonderful. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
Thanks so much for the call. And that opens up a phone line at 753-KVNU, 753-5868. If you have a question or comment for Mark Anderson of Anderson Seed and Garden. You mentioned boomerang root stimulator, so effective right now. In fact, if you just take a good broad fertilizer, put that out, and then you could just water it in with that boomerang, and that would just be
Oh, it'd be perfect. Yeah.
It's like Red Bull for your trees.
But it's the healthy version.
That's true. Yeah.
It's the healthy organic version, which I'm not sure if they make one or not. Yeah. So that'd be amazing. Yeah, absolutely amazing.
Okay. Phone lines open 753-KVNU, 753-5868 if you have a question or comment for Mark. So I know weeds tend to be probably one of the more likely questions that you're getting right now. How do I take care of all of the dandelions, the morning glory, thistles, and everything else that are popping up in our lawns? Clover, I notice. Those are one of the things that we've got coming up right now. And is there one treatment, kind of a one-size-fits-all kind of a treatment for your lawn that would be best that you'd recommend? Or do you kind of have to determine what weeds you've got and then kind of take them out?
That's a really good question, because I had a customer in the other day that specifically wanted to come talk to me because they had a big area. They needed to control weeds, and they throughout the summer they have secondary water, so they continuously have weeds throughout the year. And so I was like, all right, we've got a couple options here. And so I showed him the weed-free zone from Fertilome, and the weed-free zone is kind of our go-to for broadleaf weeds. Won't hurt your turf, won't hurt lawn at all, but it basically kills everything else. So it will kill dandelions and clover and mallow and thistles and morning glory. Works really, really well on morning glory. And but it leaves all the grass. And so it's great to use in cooler temperatures, which we have been experiencing. It's been a little bit cooler, and it will do a great job, and it will kill these really hard to kill weeds very quickly. So it's a fast acting herbicide, and so we love the weed free zone. However, with him having all those weeds that show up throughout the summer, because he's using irrigation water, brings a lot of seeds in. And so throughout the summer, he'll get like more that just keep popping up and popping up. And so I showed him the new product from Bayer, and it's very similar to the weed free zone. It's not quite as strong, doesn't work as quickly, and it doesn't work in the cold temperatures, but it has a 6-month broadleaf weed preventer built into it. So it's got a pre-emergent that works on dandelions and clover and mallow and thistles and morning glory, and it prevents them from seed, so you don't have them coming back. So this is very different but similar to a crabgrass preventer, because a crabgrass preventer works on a lot of your grasses. So it's going to work on crabgrass and foxtail and goosegrass and barnyard grass, all these grasses that germinate from seed each year and take over whole sections of your turf. Well, this other product from Bayer, it's called Season-Long Weed Control. It kills the weeds that are there right now, but then it prevents new broadleaf weeds, not grasses, but broadleaf weeds from germinating for the rest of the year. And if it lasts 6 months, that's like May, June, July, August, September, October. It's going to last all the way into October, and it's going to prevent those seeds as they germinate from getting established and kill those, so you don't have a whole bunch of new weeds coming back. So he was quite intrigued with the two options, but he still couldn't decide what to do because he had a bigger area. It was like close to an acre.
Oh, okay.
And it was a lot less expensive to buy the 2.5 gallon of the Speed Zone than to buy multiple containers of the Season-Long Weed Control, because it only covers 5,000 square feet. So we'd have had to buy like 8 of those to cover the same.
A pallet full.
Yeah. I had to buy a lot. So, but he had the option for both of those. So if you don't have a really big lawn and you need to prevent weeds, that's a great way to go, because it's not only going to kill what's there, but it's going to prevent new ones for the rest of the season. So you just won't have new dandelions popping back up. You won't have spurge showing up in the middle of the summer, because it's going to kill all your spurge as well too, and chickweed and knotweed. So it works on all those broadleaf weeds that are germinating throughout the summer and sometimes show up in July and August. And you're like, man, my lawn looked really good a couple of months ago. Where'd all these weeds come from?
Yeah.
But it's not going to hurt grass.
Okay.
Yeah. So really about 4 weeks after you've applied the product, if you wanted to overseed with some grass seed, you could go ahead and do that too. Okay. So it's not going to affect your grass seed. But right off the bat, it could damage your grass seed. So we usually tell people to wait about a month until they
let your grass get established.
Yeah. Let the herbicide start to do its job, and then after a month, the pre-emergent won't bother that new grass that you may be reseeding with.
Okay.
So yeah, but those are two great options if you're looking to control weeds in your vegetable garden or in your flower beds before you plant. And I've also had a lot of people come in asking about this as well too. So I've taken a lot of questions on what should I use, because I want to till my garden, I want to get stuff planted.
Yeah.
And so Decimate from Fertilome is probably my very favorite to use because it biodegrades in 24 hours. So after 24 hours, that weed killer will have done its job. And it's gone down into the root system, started to kill the weeds out, but you could replant right back in that same area. So as soon as the weeds start to turn yellow and die, you can just till that section up and replant the same day.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that you till, because 24 hours after you spray, and it usually takes 48 hours, maybe 72 for it to really kill the weeds. So by that time, the herbicide is completely gone out of your soil, and you can plant right back in there.
Okay.
Yeah, and it does a great job.
Okay. Now, one thing I noticed, and we have kind of a second driveway that's just a gravel driveway, and every year it has grasses coming back up.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I'll go out with a weed whacker and just knock them down. Other years I've used Decimate, Killzall, and other things like that. Is there one better than the other?
The Decimate and the Killzall both do a really great job on killing grasses, but they're not going to prevent new ones from coming up. So what I would do is probably take a little bit of liquid Treflan, like the vegetable and ornamental weeder from Monterey, and mix it in with the Killzall or in with the Decimate. And then when you apply that, not only will it kill what you've sprayed it on, but it will prevent new ones from coming up from seed.
Okay.
And so you could use it in that parking area. You could use it in your patio. You could use it around your shed or your barn where you just don't want stuff coming up, and it's going to kill what's there. And it works on goat heads and puncture vine, and it works on basically all kinds of grasses, all kinds of broadleaf weeds. It'll basically kill everything that you spray it on, but then it's going to prevent new ones from germinating as they start to take off in the summertime or spring or fall even. And so as those seeds start to germinate, it kills the germs so they can't get established, and it basically eradicates the weed before it even gets started. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So that would be great. But the nice thing about mixing the Treflan with the Killzall or the Decimate is it won't leach out. It won't damage like nearby plants. So if you've got a tree or a shrub that's like right next to that area, it won't bother it at all. You'd have to spray the leaves of the tree or the leaves of the shrub.
Won't leak through the root system
and the root system won't be able to pick it up either.
Okay.
And so if it has roots that come right into that area, that combination will not bother it. But if you went with a sterilant, say Killzall 365 or Pramitol, and we're trying to sterilize that area, it could damage those nearby trees or shrubs with roots that come into that area, because the herbicide's going to stay right where you put it. It's not going to spread. But if the roots come in there and it picks it up, it'll kill those roots, and then all of a sudden your trees are dying. And we definitely don't want that.
No.
Yeah, we definitely don't want that. So,
all right. Well, we've hit the bottom of the hour, and so we'll take a quick break. Be right back. Plenty of time to take more of your calls. For Mark Anderson of Anderson Seed and Garden here on the Garden Guide on KVNU. I'm Will Feel-Right with your KVNU local headlines here at the bottom of the hour. Well, some Utah State University students are questioning their student body election results, claiming that students who were not on campus voted. Now, Sarah Mitchell spoke with students and administrators about what happened.
Utah State students are speaking out about the student body president election. Isaac Natuve and Tavo Estrada claims the election was unfair, saying concurrent enrollment students participated. USUSA posted a statement on Instagram saying that 113 concurrent enrollment students voted. Natuve and Estrada created a petition to demand a recount of the votes.
We wanted our student representatives to be selected in a process that was reflected in the values of fairness, integrity, and hard work.
Utah State University spokesperson sent an email to students earlier this week, stating in part, over the next few months, staff will partner with the USUSA student leaders to review this year's concerns and make needed updates. In the meantime, the election results, as reported, will stand for the upcoming academic year. I'm Sarah Mitchell with KVNU.
Well, thanks, Sarah. A petition has circulated online for the past week and received over 1,500 signatures. And students at Taylorsville High School have been suspended after allegedly sending graphic, sexually explicit messages to at least 2 girls. Now, the stepfather of one victim reported the girls were subjected to severe harassment. Now, initially, school administrators issued only a no-contact order. The Taylorsville Police Department later reviewed the text and determined they did not meet the legal threshold for criminal threats, though an officer called them disgusting. Well, clear skies to start the weekend with showers coming for the second half of the weekend as temperatures are going to stay right around the mid-50s through the weekend with overnight temperatures around the mid-30s. I'm Will Feelright for KVNU News.
Good morning, this is Judson Richards. Let's begin with the NBA playoffs in round 1. Lakers looking to take a 3-0 lead over the Rockets in Houston. Kevin Durant was out in this one with an ankle injury. 25 seconds left to play. Lakers down 3, but watch out for a 41-year-old LeBron James.
Shepard dribbling. LeBron not fouling him, and now LeBron poked it away and stole it. They get it ahead to LeBron, and he dropped it. Kennard's got it. Give it to LeBron. 3 for the tie. It's good. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
The call on 710 ESPN LA. Lakers would win in overtime, 112-108, have a chance to close out that series on Sunday. Eastern Conference round 1 in Philadelphia we go. 76ers and the Celtics knotted at a game apiece. We go to the final moments. Boston up a point, and guess who's back?
Tatum moving to his right. Left-hand dribble, shovels back. Vucevic keeps it himself. One dribble in, kick back to Tatum. Up fakes on Maxey. 3 in the air. Got it! Jason Tatum, his 3,000th career postseason point, gives the Celtics a 4-point lead with 1:53 to go.
Be still. Hearts, be still.
Jason Tatum goes for 25. Jaylen Brown goes for 25. Celtics win 108-100. They lead the series now 2-1. In Portland, the Spurs say Victor Wembanyama is progressing after his concussion Tuesday, but he was unavailable. But the Spurs still get a win in Game 3. Thanks a lot to Stephen Castle.
7 minutes to go. 101-95. Bryant, left side. Hands to Champagnie. Back over across to Castle. Right wing extended. Guarded by Kamara. Castle makes his move. Castle brushing off Kamara. Pull-up jumper. Good. Spurs, their largest lead of the night. 8. 103-95.
33 points for Castle. Spurs beat the Blazers 120-108.
Since 1896, S.C. Needham Jewelers has been selling diamonds in historic downtown Logan. Today, you have a choice of both natural and lab-grown diamonds. You'll be impressed with the affordability of our diamonds today. With our international suppliers from Israel, India, and Antwerp, Belgium, we're able to guarantee the best price. Simply magnify our diamonds, select your favorite, and have it mounted in a ring of your choice. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 7, where Utah gets engaged. S.C. Needham Jewelers, middle of the block, at the sign of the clock.
From gardening to landscaping, it's the Garden Guide on News Talk KVNU, 610 AM and 102.1 FM.
And welcome back to the show as we are enjoying sunny, clear skies. Right now, 30 outside the KVNU studios, but looking forward to some warmer temperatures this afternoon. And looking ahead to next week, we've got temperatures that are going to be getting us back into the low 60s by Wednesday, as we'll see some rain for the first half of this next week. So definitely time to get a little planting done with all of the rain we've got coming in.
Take advantage of the weekend.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and get my carrots planted if it's not raining by the time I get home tonight.
I think you should be okay.
I've got some kohlrabi, and I've got some carrots and some beets and some chard that I really want to get planted. And if I'd prepped my potatoes, I could try and get those done too. But I like to cut them and let them sit for just 24, 48 hours. And they kind of, where the cuts are, they'll heal over and it'll kind of protect them a little bit so that when you plant them, they're less likely for a disease to get into the potato right off because they've got that protective coating on there. And so your potato's less likely to have like verticillium or fusarium. So we usually treat them with Fungicide 5 from Fertilome, which is a really great way to prevent diseases from getting into the potatoes right off. So they'll get watered with the Fungicide 5, which is very compatible with the Bigfoot. And so Bigfoot's going in with the potatoes, and then we do our Green Grow fertilizer. And Mark from Green Grow is going to be on the show sometime in May.
Great.
So we're working on that, And then I'll cover those potatoes up, and then as they start to come up, we hit them again with the Bigfoot, and man, they just go like crazy. Off. Yeah, they go like crazy. So looking forward to it.
Okay.
Yeah, should be great.
Speaking of planting, and we'll get to the phone lines here in just a minute, but happening today, the Spring Fling Planting Event.
That's right.
And there are still a few slots available.
There are. So we opened up another station. So if you tried earlier and couldn't get a reservation, try again, because we have some new openings available, and we've been able to shift people around from one spot to the next. So we have extra reservations available for our Spring Fling Planting Event. So if you've never participated before, we provide the soil and we provide the labor for free. You can bring in anywhere between 2 and 4 planters, and you bring those in and you pick out the flowers that you want planted, and then we'll plant them up for you. We'll provide the soil for free, and then you just end up paying for maybe a little bit of bark down the bottom, some fertilizer, and for the flowers, and we take care of all the rest. And then we'll even load it up in your car for you, or your truck as you go home. Yeah, so we're here to help out, and it's our Spring Fling Planting Event. You can sign up on our website at AndersonSeedandGarden.com. You can call into the store. You can come into the store, and you can scan the QR code and see what reservation times, what slots are available, and we'll try and make it work for you.
Okay.
Yeah, works out great. It's a lot of fun. It really is. And we have 5 or 6 stations this year, and so we'll have plenty of space to take care of everyone, so that there's no lines. You don't have to stand around waiting. So as we mentioned at the first of the show, if you've got an appointment at, say, 11 o'clock, don't come in right at 11. You want to come in at, say, 10:15, 10:30, and then you have time to pick out what flowers you want planted, because then at 11 o'clock, when it's your turn, you want to have everything ready to go, so you can just go right to your planting station, and then they'll help you get everything planted, and they'll load it up for you and send you out the door.
And you're on your way.
Yeah, works great.
All right, happening today, Anderson Seed and Garden, the Spring Fling Planting Event, and yeah, there are still slots available, so you can go to AndersonSeedandGarden.com and sign up.
Sign up right there.
Okay, well, Janet's joining us on the line from Franklin. Janet, thank you so much for holding. Welcome to the Garden Guide.
Thanks. How are you guys doing today?
Great. Sun is shining.
Good.
Couldn't be better.
Yep.
Well, for me, let's see. So here's what happened. Last fall, my garden needed some beefing up. So I put a bunch of organic material into my garden. I have a pretty large garden. And the very last I put, humate and rotted wood chips and all these things and compost. The last thing is I got a bunch of free straw. So I put a thin layer of straw over the whole thing, and I prepared it so well that I have got a gorgeous winter wheat patch growing right now.
I do too. So I love putting the straw out there in the fall, because you will get winter wheat coming up. And so I've got a nice, I only got half my garden tilled because my tiller broke while we were doing it.
Oh,
and
no.
so the other half is just like growing like crazy. I called my friend who comes with his tractor to till. He tilled in the fall, but I usually will just till it in the spring. And I was like, dude, you got to come, because I've got a crop out here.
We got to get over.
We got to get that tilled in. So
exactly, and not only that, we've gotten more. I'm in the mouth of a canyon, so we've got more moisture, more snow. So I'm still wet.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's 10 inches high, and I'm like, with this new rain, it's going to be 1.5 feet by the time I can get around to it.
Even taller.
I do not. What can I possibly do? We have a great tiller, but I can't get it out.
Yes, until it dries a little bit. You could actually mow it down if you wanted to, and then just leave it out there, and it'll dry, and then you can incorporate that organic matter back in. It's actually really good for the soil, so it's gonna be great for your soil. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I know everyone's like, till it in. I'm like, yes, if I could, I would love to. So, anyway.
Yep, welcome to the club, because I'm in the same boat, and I'm just like looking at it, and mine's probably 10 or 12 inches tall. And it's just like, oh, man. It's like I would have had that all tilled in 2 weeks ago if my tiller hadn't broken. So,
oh, Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I've never had the straw do it that way. I mean, it looks like we deliberately did it. It's beautiful.
Yeah. And it's so beneficial for your soil because that root system of the wheat is actually breaking up the soil. So it's breaking up dirt clods and clumps of clay. Yeah, that'll break it all up. And then as you work that organic matter back in there, it will get in between those clay particles and prevent them from clumping up again later on. So it's really, really good for your soil. So I applaud you for your adding all that organic matter in the fall, and it's great to let this all come up in the spring. But yes, at some point get that tilled in. And it would not hurt to put a little bit more humate and maybe a little bit more nitrogen out there because it's going to have depleted a lot of the nitrogen through the wintertime. So,
Right. That makes sense. Okay. And then just one more question.
Yeah.
We had purchased a black tulip magnolia tree from you.
Yes.
And put it in last fall. And it was so pretty because everything was pretty until it wasn't.
Yes.
And but it only had 2 blossoms, and they were very normal pink. They were not dark. Is there any reason for that?
Might be a little iron deficient, and it may be because of the way the weather has been this year. It should be much darker. So I've got a black tulip at home, and it comes out and it's like really, really dark, and then it opens up, and once it opens up and it starts to fade a little bit, then it does go kind of pink color.
Right. No, it came out pink. So I was just hoping, and then it only had 2. And is that pretty normal for a first year? Yes,
for the first year. Yeah, you're not going to have too many. And I'm glad it bloomed for you because mine did not, because the deer killed mine over the winter.
Oh,
yeah, they just took every inch of bark off of it. So we'll be starting from scratch at our house. Yeah, all over again. And so I'm happy for you. I would do iron, a chelated iron on it this year because they're almost always iron deficient, and if they're iron deficient, the leaves will be yellow and the flowers will not be the true color. So
well, the leaves were going to be green.
Yeah.
But then they froze.
And they got frozen, yeah. And it'll put new leaves out too. So it should,
that's what I figured.
It should be great.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks, Jana. Have a wonderful weekend.
You too.
We will.
Bye.
Thanks.
And phone lines are open at 753-KVNU, 753-5868. Of course, as we were talking with Marilyn earlier with her Japanese maple, a good mix of boomerang, Bigfoot, and some fertilizer. I think that would benefit any tree.
Will really help, really, really help. And, we have seen a lot of interesting, odd, different damage this year, but we've also seen a lot of amazing things as well, too. So, our crab apples and our regular apples, it seemed like they bloomed for like 3 weeks this year because the temperature was cooler. They just hung in there. And interesting how the frost worked, because we had a crab apple that all the blossoms got damaged on it, and then just 100 yards away we had an apple tree and perfect.
Really?
It didn't even bother the flowers on it. Yeah. So go figure.
Yeah.
You just never know.
Never know with Mother Nature.
Yeah, you just never know. But my peas and spinach and onions look amazing. Okay. And I got those planted the very first week of April. So they've been in for over 3 weeks now. And they look awesome.
Now, for those who are looking to do a little gardening, you mentioned carrots. Great time to put carrots in. Is there anything else besides carrots that start going in?
So if you haven't planted your early crops, get those in as quickly as you possibly can. So that would be spinach, lettuce, radishes, onions, cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, kale. You want to get those planted like as soon as possible. And then this weekend, if it doesn't rain too early tonight, we're going to try and do some carrots, some beets, chard, parsnips. Those can all go in right now. Even if we have frost, they'll be fine.
Okay.
I usually try and shoot for mid-April on those, but it has been so wet, I haven't been able to get out there and plant since it started raining about every 4 days this month. And so it's okay. And then potatoes.
Okay.
So potatoes could go in as well, too. And then tender stuff, we're shooting for 10th to the 20th of May. So we've got 2 to 3 weeks to plant those. Yeah,
Okay.
maybe a little bit longer. Just depends on what the weather does. So
Okay.
we never know. We might be cold and wet through May as well too.
All right. Well, and with all of the moisture that we've received, of course, it is really greening up the lawns.
Yeah.
And I noticed USU Extension put out a reminder that as we start moving into the warmer months, they had several tips of making sure that you maybe raise your lawnmower up a little bit,
right?
Mulch
Yeah.
when you're mowing, and those kind of things can really help keep your lawn green when the water all of a sudden turns off, and you're having to rely on your own sprinkler system.
It does make a huge difference. So there's a lot of cultural practices that we can do that will really help keep our turf looking good, even with a lot less water. So one of those is overseeding with some newer grasses, and we've been talking about that for the last couple of weeks. Is using Eden or Mark's Mix to overseed your existing grass to incorporate more resilient grasses in there that can handle less water but still look really, really good,
pretty.
or that recover really quickly after it's gone, a week or two without water. It'll recover a lot faster. And so that's a great way to do that, especially after aerating your turf. And it's not a bad thing to aerate multiple times on a year like this where we are low on water. And so by aerating, it allows water and air to get down into the root system, and it will really help your grass as well too. But what we've really noticed is, depending on how you mow, early on in the spring, we like to mow really close. So we'll mow it really close. It helps get the root system to spread horizontally, so your grass will spread out and fill in and thicken up. But during the summer, you want to mow almost as tall as you can, because it shades the soil, keeps the soil moist longer. Your water doesn't evaporate as quickly, but then it forces the root system to go deep. So if your grass is really tall, the roots will go deeper, and the deeper the root systems are, the more they're likely to pick up water longer. If you only water once a week, the roots will go down after that water that's down deeper in the soil, and it will be able to get water that it wouldn't be able to get otherwise if it had a really shallow root system.
Okay.
And so it's a great way to encourage deeper root systems that go after water. And then 3 weeks ago we put our Back to Green on the turf.
Oh, okay.
And in March, we didn't water at all, and March was really dry, and so our grass came out. It looked really good. We had a couple snowstorms to start the month off with, and then we didn't have anything for like 3 weeks. And everybody's grass started to kind of brown up a little bit, and so I threw the Back to Green on there, and it's so green and so lush right now with all this moisture. But it will last until like Flag Day.
Oh, okay.
Like I won't have to.
Middle of the summer.
Yeah, I won't have to water for 2 months really, as Mother Nature provides. We're gonna have some dry spells where it doesn't get watered for a couple of weeks, but we still won't have to water our lawn. It'll still stay green, healthy, and looking good, because the Hydrotain or the Back to Green helps the soil absorb and retain the moisture so much better. So highly recommend those products this year. And they come, Hydrotain comes liquid or granule, so you can apply it either with a hose end or with a broadcast spreader. And the Back to Green has a high dose of iron in it, so it'll really, really make your lawn look good. But products like that can really extend your water 2 or 3 times farther than it would. So if we start having restrictions in Cache Valley, different locations are going to be different depending on your water source. You might be restricted to once a week. You might be restricted to once every 10 or 12 days. And products like the Hydrotain and the Back to Green will extend those waterings, so your turf will look really good, even though it's only getting watered once a week.
Okay. And, when it comes to planting like a tree or other plants, shrubs, just a real simple treatment of Bigfoot, mycorrhiza.
Oh, yeah.
Put that in with the tree, and then that'll establish that root system so much better so that it doesn't require as much water.
Yeah, yeah. It makes the trees or the shrubs or the vegetables or the flowers way more capable of picking up water and nutrient, and it makes the root system much bigger, so they'll go find that water and nutrients, so you don't have to water as much, and the plants are more resilient, and they can pick up nutrient better, and so they'll just, across the board, they'll just look a lot better and use a lot less water.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, great time to get out, get a few of those plants in, carrots, and you mentioned some of your other, if you haven't put in cauliflower and some of the others, broccoli, and those can go in for sure right now.
Absolutely.
Still hold off if you're wanting to put those tomato plants in. You definitely want to give yourself still a little extra time.
Unless you have a wall of water or, Aquadome or, something to protect those plants, because they are just not going to do well if we get more frost. And I know we've got some people who've had to replace plants because it has gotten so cold this month, and it's done some damage. So last frost average May 20th. Just kind of plan on May 20th, and maybe it'll be a little earlier this year. Maybe it'll be a little bit later, but just plan on that, and plan on putting weed barrier out there to warm up the soil before you plant some of these tender plants. That really does help quite a bit. So where we plant our tomatoes and our peppers, I put weed barrier down a couple weeks before we plant. So every time the sun comes out, it warms that soil up. And the warmer the soil is, the faster they get established and the quicker they start to produce as well too. So it's a great way to keep weeds down. It's a great way to conserve on water, and it's a great way to warm the soil up so your plants will mature a lot faster.
Okay.
So that really does help as well too. And then, as we mentioned at the top of the show, great selection of trees just came in. We just got 400 shade trees came in from Oregon, and they look amazing, and they're ready to be planted. And so if you're thinking you need to add some trees in, we've got a great selection of flowering trees. We've got all of our shade trees are in stock now. Shrubs coming almost on a weekly basis, so our nursery is getting filled up. We still do have a good selection of fruit trees and a few bare roots, so raspberries, strawberries. I think we're about out of blueberries, but we're going to try and get some more in 1 gallon pots. So we'll be getting some potted blueberries in as well too. Currants, all the plants are looking great. Yeah, they've actually really loved the weather in April. It's been really good for all the bare root plants. So they've just been thriving in the nursery. So let's get them thriving in your yard instead.
And the greenhouses are full of flowers right now with the Spring Fling planting event that's happening today. And if someone has not signed up yet to take part in the Spring Fling planting event, you do still have a few slots available that are going to be filling up this morning.
Yes. So you can call in. You can stop into the store and scan the QR code and see what reservations are available, or you can go right onto our website and sign up right there for our Spring Fling planting event. So we provide the labor for free. We provide the soil for free. You bring in 2 to 4 planters. I mean, you can bring in 1 if you want to, but anywhere up to 4 planters, and pick out the flowers. We'll pot them up for you. We'll provide the soil, and then you just have to pay for the flowers and maybe a little fertilizer and some bark down the bottom for drainage, and we'll load them up in your car, and away you go. So it's our opportunity to give back to our customers, and we'll provide the soil and the labor for free. It's a really great event, and it's a lot of fun for a lot of people. Make sure you come in early, though. So if your appointment is say at 1 o'clock this afternoon, make sure you come in about 12:30 and have plenty of time to shop and pick out the flowers that you want, so that when your appointment arrives at 1 o'clock, you're ready to go. You can just go right up to your station that you've been assigned and take off. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a great way to go.
All right, so the Spring Fling planting event going on right now, plus also a great selection of shade trees. And next couple of weeks, you'll start brewing, and probably within the next couple of weeks, starting to brew up the
compost tea. We're going to start probably next week.
And that would be perfect for those plots.
We were kind of thinking we might start this week, but the weather has been so
a little cold,
uncooperative that we'll get her rolling. So
yeah.
It does much better when the temperatures are not freezing every night.
Yeah.
It works a lot better.
All right. So, if you're looking for a little extra boost for those plants, that compost tea is just amazing. and basically kind of like Bigfoot and Boomerang and some of the others, just really helps stimulate that root growth and gives the plants the nutrients that they need. And
it's full of beneficial microbes and microorganisms that break down things in the soil, including nutrient, and makes that available to the plants. But if there's, like, say, pesticides or toxins that have built up in your soil, it will decompose those so they're no longer going to affect your plants. But it does a lot of really good things for your soil, and it makes this perfect environment for your plants to thrive. So, yeah, great stuff.
All right. Well, I've appreciated the calls, and we'll, of course, be back again next week to take more of your questions, your comments for Mark Anderson of Anderson's Seed and Garden. Enjoy the weather with the rain that we've got coming in. It's a great time to get out, get some yard work done, and start prepping the garden because before you know it, summer's going to be here.
It's going to be here.
It's we'll have those hot temperatures, and all of a sudden we'll be wishing that it was cooler again. So if you missed a part of the show, you can always go back and listen to prior shows at kvnutalk.com and join us again next week for the Garden Guide here on KVNU.
All the news. Stay with 610 AM and 102.1 FM. Breaking news and stimulating talk. News Talk KVNU.